welcome to No Brainer MMA. Going to be going over UFC 284, the interim featherweight belt. Yair Rodriguez versus Josh Emmett. Now, this fight has fireworks written all over it. It's the interim featherweight championship between two guys who are just powerhouse strikers in different ways, but both just very dominant strikers. I'm going to start with Josh Emmett. He started his MMA career as an NCAA wrestler and BJJ practitioner, but the way he fights, you would never guess that he has a deep rooted past as a grappler. Josh Emmett, pound for pound, is probably top three heaviest hitters in the entire UFC and fell in love with his hands and just left grappling behind. And for good reason. He's had a lot of success fighting this way, including recording a knockdown in 7 out of his 8 last fights. That being said, he's kind of a one trick pony, but he's like the David Blaine of that trick, so you can't really blame him for sticking with it. Emmett has hands of steel, but he headhunts. You'll rarely see him not throw to the head, going to the head 77% of the time over his last 4 fights. Doesn't have that high of volume, but it's not low either. He just kind of sticks. It's like 20 significant strikes to 25 significant strikes like per round, like maxing out as. And that's probably because he puts everything into his shots. You can't throw too many or else you're going to gas out. The guy's game revolves around being able to take a shot and return one too, just harder, which is a very dangerous game to play, especially when you're a 37-year-old that cuts an absolute ton of weight to make 145. The guy is absolutely jacked. But overall, it's held up so far, but that doesn't last forever. Father Time's a real piece of shit.
Fucking piece of shit!
He's taken on Yair Rodriguez, who's great, right? He has the recipe to be a superstar. He's flashy, athletic, his entertainment factor's through the roof. 7 out of his 12 UFC fights have been Performance of the Night or Fight of the Night awards. But he's just a dumbass, frankly. In 2018, he was like publicly egging on Dana White and accepting fights, declining fights, and just making his boss look like a fool, which is great. Fuck Dana White.
Got a lot of demons, man. A lot of demons.
But it's not a good career move. So he was cut from the UFC just to come back begging on his hands and knees like 3 weeks later for Uncle Dana's forgiveness, and he was signed back. Then in 2020, he was evading USADA, not showing up for his testing, not telling USADA his whereabouts, and got suspended for it. Physically, this guy has all the aspects of a superstar, but he's his own worst enemy, and it's honestly a shame. But maybe he had a breakthrough because, it's been 2 years, give or take, without any drama from Yair. So that's probably a good sign. Yeah, sorry about that tangent right there. But for the breakdown, I think it's going to be a stand up war. Emmett has the power advantage, and it's obvious. Yair is the more dynamic striker. He's the more athletic guy. It's a 5 round fight, so 5 rounds with Emmett is really a roll of the dice. He only needs one shot, really. But I expect Jair to come out attacking the legs, taking away the power and mobility of Emmett, and pick his shots from the outside. Try to not engage in any firefights, which can be tough for him. But that's just how I see this fight going. So I'm actually going to go with Yair Rodriguez in this one.